What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd try this angle. It's more up, you can see my face, and less of what's around me. So, this video, we'll be talking about the Conor McGregor versus the Dustin Poirier fight, UFC 257 this weekend. This should be a great fight because, one, McGregor's back, so he's fresh off his win. I mean, a year ago from Donald Cerrone, who he dominated in like 40 seconds. And it was at 170. And he just literally dominated the guy. Cerrone didn't look good. He got smoked. Man's fought like 55 times. So, like, he's been through wars, Donald Cerrone. So, and McGregor came in fresh and totally scorched him. And for Dustin Poirier, his last fight, I believe, was around 6 months ago against Dan Hooker, who is a big lightweight, a tall lightweight, and he's also fighting on this card as the co-main event. So, Dan Hooker will be fighting Michael Chandler as the co-main event, and that itself right there is going to be a great fight. You got two lightweight fights that really could determine the title fight, whether who wins, how they win, depending on Khabib's situation, him retiring and what he wants to do, which I doubt he'll come back. I really doubt he'll come back, honestly. I'll be surprised. But since he's out of the picture, we got McGregor and Poirier and Hooker and Chandler. First, I'll start with the co-main event. When it comes to Dan Hooker, he's a big lightweight. He's tall. I believe he's almost 6 feet. He had a great fight against Dustin Poirier last year, which was the Fight of the Year candidate. And seeing that fight, Hooker was just overpowered. Dustin Poirier is a big lightweight. He's a thick 155er. He's a heavy guy in there. He's probably pushing 180. 175 in that octagon when he's fighting. So you could see the weight difference in Hooker and Poirier. Poirier 8 punches better. Hooker was just getting tagged. Hooker didn't have a lot of head movement when he fought Dustin Poirier. Poirier would land his hooks, his combinations with ease, and his jab would land against Hooker. It's just Dan would not move his head, man. I mean, if you're going to be a tall guy, you got to move your head once you're throwing punches. That's what makes you effective, because you can hit them and they can't hit you. So you got to at least have head movement. That's fundamentals. And Dan Hooker had a war against Poirier 6-7 months ago. Man, it was a great fight. Poirier fought well. Poirier's a tough cat. But going back to the co-main, Hooker's a good fighter. He's 29. He's tall. He's rangy. He's there for a reason. He's definitely one of the top lightweights in the UFC. But going back to Michael Chandler was a beast in Bellator. If it was either Bellator or another company, but he was the champion for years there, and he's been in some wars. He fought Eddie Alvarez twice, which was some gruesome, crazy fights. And I believe that was 1-1 when they fought. And he's just a vet. You know, I think he's in his early mid-30s, out like 34, 33, 34. So Chandler, we might have seen the best of Michael Chandler, but maybe not, because he still have a few years left. And Michael Chandler, this is his first fight in the UFC, and it's a co-main event with McGregor as the main card. So that's kind of a lot of pressure on Michael to show up, you know, because he's the first fight in the UFC. He's fighting Hooker, who's no joke. I believe he's ranked number 6. And if Chandler beats Hooker, that puts Hooker out of the conversation for sure, and Michael Chandler in it. So if Dan Hooker loses 2 in a row to Poirier and Chandler, he'll be in the bottom with like Tony Ferguson, who's lost 2 straight against Gaethje and Oliveira. And that'll probably be the next fight, Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson. But before we even get to that, I'm predicting Michael Chandler to beat Hooker. Dan Hooker's he's a good fighter. He's good. He's tall. He's got all good attributes to be a good lightweight. But Michael he's smaller, definitely smaller. But I think Michael will take him down or ground and pound him or just catch him with a good punch. I feel like even though Michael Chandler is a wrestler, I think he's tougher than Hooker. I believe Chandler will win the late rounds. Hooker might win the first 2 rounds, but I think Michael Chandler would just run away with it. But if I have to choose how, I'll probably say 4th round TKO, like ground and pound, Michael Chandler. I just think he's got it. He's a vet. He was a champion. He's a former champion. Hooker's never been a champion. So I got to lean towards Michael Chandler in that fight. And yeah, I got Michael. And now with Dustin and Conor, Conor's going to be fresh. Conor's going to be determined. Conor has had a lot of time to get his mind right and train and really be in that mindset of really just taking people out. And Dustin, he's been in some wars. Dustin's been in some fights. He was in that war with Dan Hooker. He was in that fight against Justin Gaethje. He fought Khabib. I believe those were his last 3 fights that I can think of. He fought Holloway. He fought Anthony Pettis. Poirier's fought a lot of dudes. And his record's 26-6. McGregor, I think, 22-4. But I think Conor is just going to come into this fight fresh, ready to brawl, ready to take out Dustin. I don't believe he'll be out in 60 seconds. Dustin Poirier is tougher than Donald Cerrone. Not to diss Donald, but Donald's getting older. He's at over 55 fights. Like, Donald's fought forever. So that seems more reasonable than him getting out 40 seconds and Dustin getting out in 60 seconds. I think Dustin's tougher. I know Conor might knock him down once or twice in those 60 seconds. But as far as winning the whole thing, no. I would say 1st round. I got Conor winning 1st round knockout late. Maybe 4 minutes in the 1st round. But Dustin's no joke though. Like we can't be disrespecting Dustin Poirier. Like he's a tough cat. He's been in wars and he survived and beat them all. He's beat Justin deep in the waters. He's beat Eddie Alvarez. He's beat Dan Hooker. He's beat a lot of these fighters like late in rounds. It's just his one loss was against Khabib, which is Khabib. I mean, the dude's undefeated for a reason. So I got to pick Conor McGregor for sure. 2nd round, will he make it? I don't think he'll make the 3rd round. I don't think Dustin will make 3rd. 1st round seems a bit early. Man, I gotta say 2nd round, halfway through the 2nd round, similar to Eddie Alvarez. I think McGregor will dominate. Poirier might land his shots in the clinch. I see it. I see Dustin getting Conor in the fence and landing some good shots, maybe there, maybe taking him down, but not doing much there. But I got Conor. Knockout midway through the 2nd. And then after that, we'll see where Conor fights. I don't know who he's going to fight next. Is he going to fight the winner of Chandler Hooker? Is he going to fight Justin Gaethje? Is he going to fight Oliveira? Is he going to fight Tony Ferguson? Nate Diaz at lightweight? They're saying Nate Diaz wants to come down to lightweight. Like 170, Jorge Masvidal's there. Like there's so many fights for McGregor to have. It's such an exciting time. If you're a McGregor fan, he can fight anybody. He can fight Manny Pacquiao in boxing, Mayweather again, Jake Paul's stupid self. Like, freaking Jake Paul. But there's so many fights he can have. So it's such a good time to be a McGregor fan. So that's my prediction. I got Conor winning. I got Michael Chandler winning. And the rest is, we'll see. We'll see about the rest. So many great fights to happen. I'll be covering more UFC fights soon. Coming up. I don't know who's UFC 258. I think there's 3 title fights coming up. Either UFC 258 or 259. With Israel Adesanya for the heavyweight championship against John Blachowicz. And a couple other title fights as well. I think Amanda Nunes and Megan Anderson is on that card too. And I think there's another title fight. I forgot who it is. It's another title fight. I think it's Peter Yan and Sterling, I think. 145. I don't know, 135, my bad. But, yeah, that's my prediction. I got Conor beating Dustin, and I got Michael beating Dan. So, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And I'll be posting soon, probably in the next couple of days with the AFC NFC Championship game coming up, my prediction. And yeah, just stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.